Okay, in this step we want to set the position of AR camera in the real space and 3D space with the position of our player. In fact, when we work with our device and or mobile phone, the AR camera moves because it is exactly the position of device in the 3D space. So we want to set the position of AR camera with the position of our player character. So let's make the new script. It's called AR cam pose. In this script we will create a variable in game object player, and we don't need here game object player. It will be our player character, and position and rotation, it will be the our current position and our current rotation. We write it current position, and in here we say current rotation. The movement speed is because our system will work with lerp, so it needs to be very smoothly, so movement speed is for that. And also start pose, it means start the process of set position with AR camera and player. We don't need here as well. Okay, in here when we say start position, as I explained before, in the first moment we don't have any player in the scene, so because the Photon network tried to connect to the server, so it takes time about 2 or 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds, it depends to the internet speed. So at the first moment our process needs to be off because we don't have any player in our scene, and start position will be true when the character is in the scene and when the Photon network connected to the server and instantiate a new player for us. When it is equal true, the position will be the transform that position. Transform, it means the position of AR camera, that X and that Z. In here I defined minus 0.3. You can put any height as a Y parameter for your character, and also for rotation it is equal the same, allure angle X, Y and Z for rotation in the neo vector 3 variable. And in here player dot transform allure angles will be the equal with the player angle X and player angle Z, but Y rotation of player transform will be equal with Y rotation of AR camera in that frame exactly. And in here we will set the position with lerp, player transform that position, vector 3 dot lerp, player transform that position, and pose. Pose will be the position of AR camera exactly at that frame, and the movement speed is the speed of our movement, and we want to be very smoothly, so we can manage it. Right now let's get back to the editor. As you can see, I put the movement speed equal to, it will be very good for us, very smooth and also fast. The next part is we have to do, when you click on pawn in the character instantiation, you can see it's called Prefabs To Instantiate. When you click on it, you will see a lot of characters you can define. In here I've used the zoom bunny. You can put your own 3D character. For example, I remove here and by using the soldier, when I click on Zoom Bunny, we have something, it's called character manager. The character manager will set the game object of Zoom Bunny to the AR camera for AR camera pose. This set the game object of player as a player in the AR camera pose in here, and also it will say, okay, when we are the player, so the 3D model will be hide for us because it will conflict with the AR camera view. But if we are not, if this object is not player, show the 3D model of it. Let's just see the scripts of character manager. As you can see, we defined the photon.pawn, and in here public game object model, it is exactly that mesh we want to show as our character. In here we said try to start the process after 3 seconds because it needs to connect to the server of Photon, and then when we connect it, it's take about 3 seconds time. When we connect it and make sure we are connected, let's start the process. In here it says if photon view dot is mine equal true. Is mine, it means this character, this object as Zoom Bunny in the scene is player. If it is not player, so is mine is equal false, and all of these functions will not work. Exactly in here is mine equal false. If is mine equal true, try to find game object AR camera and connect to the AR camera pose, AR cam pose component, and set the AR cam dot player equal current game object. Then set active false the model as a mesh of our character, and also try to start the pose, exactly that method we talked about it before. Now it start to set the position of AR camera with the game object of our character. But if it is mine is equal false, only set active the model true. And also in here game object dot name equal photon view dot owner not nickname. A nickname in photon view, exactly that name we have registered for our multiplayer system. It is a specific thing for photon view. Okay, after we did it all of these things, we have to drag and drop the model and that mesh we want to show as a mesh of our character to model, and also for photon view drag and drop a photon view in here. Okay, it is ready right now. Then update our prefab. As you can see now, right now it is ready to use. For our test, I made this scene. I put 2 trees in here, and as you can see the pose triggers is exactly in here. Look at this, the pose triggers exactly in here, so the movement will be exactly in this triggers, and we can detect it very easily. So when we launch our AR APK, we need to detect the ground with the placement indicator and touch on the screen. Then we can see the trees in here in the area. When we walk around the trees and hit the position of these triggers, and our position will send to the other users that which says, okay, I'm trigger for example 15, player 1 is inside of my position, so it will set your character to that position for every device. Let's do test in the editor. What we can see in here, it tried to connect to the Photon network server, then instantiate a character, that soldier we have created, in the scene. After that, it tried to set the position of our character with the position of AR camera. As you can see, the AR camera is here and our character is here. When I move the AR camera, the character will moves by AR camera as well. You can imagine I am moving the AR camera by arrows, but in the APK, when I walk by my device, in fact the AR camera will move. So if I put my AR camera exactly at that position of triggers, for example in here, it works. As you can see, it says lerping. Okay, right now we have everything we need, because right now we can put our 3D object in here and also everything we want, or another scene. For example, we can have character man and another characters and another scenes in here. You can implement another decoration for here, for example this room. Okay, let's to test in the real space and we will see what will happen in the AR APK.